I would be crashing out harder than I ever had, and I'm not even this guy in the video. Like, if I opened up a package, and I saw the absolute destruction of an item where there is only 50 of those in the entire world, oh boy! I would be pissed! I would be so unbelievably pissed! If I was this guy right now. Like, let me get some context. Okay? I gotta get some context here. So, this is Tsukihime Trial Edition. There has only ever been 50 of these ever created. And this man managed to get a hold of a copy, buy it, and try to import it into the United States. And upon receiving the package, this is what he's greeted with. He's greeted with the absolute destruction of the floppy disk, aka what the trial, the game, was on. And for those that are very young or not aware of what a floppy disk is, basically it predates CDs and DVDs, Blu-rays, and streaming. It's a very old piece of hardware, so to speak. It's not something that you see often nowadays, and it automatically showcases just how old of an item this is and how sought after it is. If you're able to get a hold of one of these copies, it's a pretty big deal, especially if you know it's legitimate. And so, imagine getting one of these items, like one of these copies, only 50, and you open it up and it's just destroyed. And for those that are wondering if the seller that sold this to the guy broke it, that is not the case. There's actually picture proof of this. So, upon shipping the item to the man that showcased the broken floppy disk, it was perfectly sealed, perfectly packaged, it was bubble wrapped, it had like cardboard paper, everything perfectly protecting the item, the priceless item in the Type Moon community. And so, it was completely sealed and safe upon shipping to the United States. And only upon entering the United States, when it went through customs, did it wind up like this. And so, we need to really just talk about the elephant in the room. How did this happen to begin with? Well, as the individual points out himself, which I'm just going to read, my Tsukihime Trial Edition finally arrived, one of the only 50 copies in the world, only to discover that US Customs had removed all the bubble wrap and physically destroyed the floppy disk. Will file a report, but literally crying right now. And to be honest with you, man, I would be crying too. Because, like, this is a precious item in the anime, manga, and visual novel space. Like, it's just such a precious collector's item, especially for Type Moon, and to have one of those copies is a pretty big deal. But then, to find out that one of the 50 copies is now completely obliterated because of it, oh boy, I would be losing my shit. But we now need to ask ourselves, why did the United States Customs do this? Well, there is a lot of ways we could look at this, but we need to look at the follow-up post here. This was what it looked like before it was shipped. The sender even took extra care to sandwich it in between cardboard paper and use lots of bubble wrap to protect it. We never expected US Customs to both remove all that and intentionally damage the floppy disk directly. So, for those that are wondering why, floppy disk, I believe, in the past were known to hold, like, let's say, drugs within them. For instance, if people were shipping certain items over the border, they might try to, slip something into floppy disk to try to get things through United States Customs. And obviously, there could have potentially been a possibility maybe they thought something was being, smuggled into the United States through the floppy disk. But the thing here is to go to this extent to open up a floppy disk is completely unnecessary, especially when there's many alternatives. When you have, let's say, drug dogs, you have, scanning, x-ray technology. Like, what do you mean that they didn't use, x-ray technology to look inside of it? 100% the United States has that. They have scanning technology at airports, okay, if you try to go through TSA. So, there's scanning technology to view inside these packages without having to completely obliterate said floppy disk. So, the main question that appears now on why this even happened to begin with is why? Well, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, and discussion around this, but there is one big core thing that many people are starting to agree on. It most likely has something to do with, one, it being an anime. Secondly, it has adult only on it. And thirdly, most likely, because of what age we're in and how people like to play very Puritan and sanitize things or get violently upset with fictional work, a lot of people are trying to say that the reason why this trial edition got obliterated like it did is because of someone could not separate fiction from reality. Because someone viewed this adult only with potentially characters that might appear to not be of age, they completely destroyed it out of frustration, anger, or whatever. Or maybe they were aware of how valuable the object was, and they decided to destroy it just out of spite. Whatever the case may be, clearly whoever handled the actual customs of looking through the items, this was done more or less out of spite than anything else. You don't just destroy a floppy disk like that and then say, oh, it's because you're searching for potentially illegal items in it. Because there is definitely X-raying technology, there's definitely drug dogs if you assume something like that's in it, but the fact that they went out of their way to completely obliterate it, remove all the packaging and stuff, it showcases malicious intent. There was definitely not intent here to discover potentially crimes or anything, it was malicious intent just to destroy this object. And I think that is absolutely freaking insane. I honestly don't know what steps that this man can really do besides filing a report, but even if he's able to get his money back, the damage is done. For instance, the item is gone. It's one of the only 50 copies that has ever been created for this, Tsukihime Trial Edition. And now that it's permanently gone, that means there's less copies in the world. Dude. Oh, dude. I'm so mad. Like, just looking at this pisses me off. There's a lot of people in Japan and different people around the world that are commenting on this. I mean, with millions of views. Like, look at this one. This one has 24,000 likes, almost a million views. This one has 1.3 million views. You keep scrolling. This one has 3.2 million views. I mean, you keep scrolling. This one has 3 million views. I think you get the point. There is a lot of people talking about this situation and just how bad and horrendous this actually is. It's honestly an evil act. It's definitely... It's an attack on not just, like, collectors, but just, I think, on anime in general, or anime gaming and visual novels and manga, because whoever did this definitely had, my personal takeaway, is some form of ulterior motive, an agenda to get rid of this. Maybe they didn't know how valuable this was, but they destroyed it because maybe they think anime is icky or nerdy or whatever. That's what I think it is, and I'm blown away by just the tremendous loss that even Cars here mentions, a tremendous loss to one of the very few copies left that is now destroyed. It is a massive loss for anime, manga, and visual novels, because, I mean, Tsukihime, it is an influential visual novel. It is something that actually is, like, way before, like, it's way before Type Moon was even recognized as a company today. It is that big of a deal. It's a massive series, honestly. Well, maybe not as popular as Fate, but it's still a pretty important series to Type Moon. And to see it now just officially gone like this is just super freaking heartbreaking. Yeah, I mean, there's articles being made about this. I can't help but feel bad, man. Like, I just, dude, whoever did this, honestly, need to lose their job. Because this was not about searching for any illegal activity. This was a person going out of the way to absolutely destroy this object. That's what... Because look at how it's handled. Like, you can tell someone bent it. Like, this is not, like, trying to look into it, like, and be safe with it. Someone took it and just snapped it and looked into it. It's just... You don't do that. And my other educated guess on this is that the person that was messing with this might not even know what a floppy disk was. That could also be another case, because it's such an old piece of hardware, or software in this case, maybe they didn't even know what it was. I mean, maybe they didn't know it was a floppy disk, but it still doesn't give a right for them to just straight up break this open, because, like, you could tell by the way the object looks, like, someone grabbed it and just broke it. Like, they broke it in half. They didn't even try to be delicate with it. They didn't try to even, like, look at it or whatever, or even understand it, or potentially even ask someone that might know what it exactly is. They just snapped it, went into it, looked and see if there was anything, and put it back in the box with its pieces. It's just so disrespectful to someone's goods that they purchased, and like I already said in this video, if they were concerned that there was something hidden in it, like maybe drugs or something, there is definitely X-raying technology. You could scan this type of stuff. You could do a drug dog, but the fact they didn't, it instantly makes you lead to the conclusion of maliciousness, that the person that did this just probably hates anime, hates manga, hates visual novels, and they just wanted to destroy this just for the sake of destroying it, because most likely the person that did it won't really face any consequences for it, because they're just, United States Customs. Sick. It's actually sick. Like, this makes me so angry, man. Like, because like I said, even if the man gets his money back, nothing can replace the destruction of this loss. Like, this is a tremendous loss. And it's gone, regardless. Like, it's gone. That's the end of it. That's it. There's no bringing it back, so to speak. I mean, the man could try to go after another copy that's left, one of the only few copies that are left in the world out of the 50, but, you know, it still doesn't change the fact of what this is. So, yeah, I hope the person that did this loses their job. I really hope they do. They do not deserve to work in that job at all, being the United States Customs, if they're doing something like this, because this is completely a mishandling of your packaging, and no care for it whatsoever. It's gross. But I will leave it at that. If you enjoy my video, please subscribe, leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm and all that. Please leave a like, too, on the video. Stay healthy, guys. Chibi out.